Gonna turn down the volume a bit. I like the skin also, it's quite nice. Gladiator Draven.
Okay.
What is your favorite skin? Is that it?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
So you're playing against Kai'Sa with TP, so you're probably a lot stronger in all-in, and you're also Draven, so you should be able to dominate quite hard. Okay, they even help their jungle, it's okay for you to push. You don't have access though. Here, I would probably start my axe immediately, even before you hit the wave, because you can have 2 axes up. I mean, at this point you can't really have 2 axes up because you can't really help your jungle since he didn't start bot. But usually you can start the game with 2 axes. I don't know if you know that when you start.
Yeah, I'm always doing that.
Yeah, so here you should definitely start up your axe since your mana is gonna start regenning, and also then your axe is gonna come off cooldown as well, so you're gonna have 2 axes. But now you don't even have 1 axe up. Let's see if you start using it. Yeah, it seems like you're waiting out, but you're gonna have only 1 axe now, and you could have had 2, and your mana would already be full here, I think. Okay. I would probably try to proc my... First thing is, you're walking a bit too far up, right? Like, you want to put your axis downwards, not in such an awkward spot, since one thing is you're walking into the enemy team so they can poke you for free. And you can also get body blocked here by the creep wave. So if you get unlucky here, you might even like die at level 1 if the creeps block you and stuff like that. Yep. And here I think you're pretty close to level 2. I think you get level 2 from this creep or next creep. Okay, it's next creep. So here you should definitely walk up. You can like you're super far away from them, but you should already be walking up here so you can pressure Kai'Sa, right? Like you want to proc your Conqueror. I don't think you procced it even once so far, right?
Yeah.
You should have the aggressive stance here. Since you're gonna be level 2, you see like this creep is gonna give you level 2, they're not even close to level 2. So you on Blitz should definitely walk up here.
Huh?
Actually, wait, why doesn't Blitz get level 2? I guess he was late with the... since like, what was he doing? He didn't have to help jungle, so...
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the level 2 is pretty basic, but I guess you couldn't have punished them too hard, because Blitz would be level 1. Okay. Just pushing. Which is okay. At this point, you want to auto-attack champs for sure. Like, it's okay to not do it before the catapult dies, because catapult does a lot of damage, and if you auto-attack them, you're gonna take aggro, but here you definitely want to start proccing your auto-attacks on champs. Even if you miss a creep sometimes, it's okay, because your axes do so much damage with the Conqueror. Okay. And you even get pulled here, so you should start auto-attacking immediately. Like, you either last hit this creep, or start auto-attacking Kai'Sa or Pyke. Yeah? That's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You actually lost your axes, what? That's super big, I think. Didn't you have 2 axes?
Yeah. I had.
Yeah, you wanna keep that running, because it's way too much mana, and the cooldown is quite big, to be honest, on the axes. It's like 12 seconds, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you lose your axes, it's super bad, since you have no pressure on them. And you can't even push, like, with Draven. What you want to do here is like reset the wave and then try to zone them with Blitz or like perma push and make it hard for Kai'Sa to farm. But when you lose your axes, not only are you weaker in pushing, but it's also harder for you to last hit, right? Because the axes give you some extra damage on creep. So you already missed 1 creep because of that. Okay, it's okay, you didn't get hooked here. But you definitely want to shove the wave so it crashes on their tower and then you can reset it. I think you're gonna miss your axe too here. Yep. I guess you have to AFK or something.
It's Seems like it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Again, you miss your access. This is why I don't recommend like lower elo playing Draven, because this champ is hard for like even high diamond players and even like masters and stuff like that. They're not. It's only a certain amount of people that can play the champ to its full potential, and even at like a decent level, it's just a really hard champ to play.
Okay.
But you do win with it, so I don't know. I guess it's okay. Like you're 7-2 recently with Draven, so I don't know. Maybe he's that good on lower elo. Then if you get really good at Draven, you can 1v9 every game. I think he's like the best ADC for, right now for sure in solo queue because of Conqueror. I ban Draven every game when I play bot lane. Because the thing is, even if I am winning against him, it seems like even if I get him to 10% HP, he somehow one-shots me or my ADC. I don't know, it's just a retarded champ. Okay? But you are behind in farm, so Kai'Sa outscales you quite hard. So you want to be putting pressure on her, and it doesn't seem like you're putting any pressure on Kai'Sa at all. I think here for sure you should be all-inning them. So you can ping Blitz to walk up, you're level 4, right? Kai'Sa doesn't have any mana, you can see it here. I don't know if you do, but let's see what happens. Here for sure I'll just E and start auto-attacking them. And you're such a strong ADC that even if when you start tanking creeps, you're probably still gonna you're still probably gonna win the lane. Okay, that's good, like you get one auto, that's a really good. But I don't think you procced Conqueror, I think you needed to auto-attack him once more. Maybe you could just like Blood Rush to get the other attack in. Let's see. I'm pretty sure you could have gotten one more auto, but you don't have to commit to a super hard fight, but you should definitely try to proc your Conqueror because it's really good, you see?
Okay.
Okay, so does it proc here? I think it does. No, you have to. It procs now, and then your next auto attack procs on him, right? So you need to get one more auto in for sure. And you shouldn't even be scared, because it's pretty easy for you to dodge the pike hook, right? Like you have your move speed from W. And even if he hooks you, the thing with Draven is even if you get hooked here, I think you still win the all-in. As long as Blitz follows, but it doesn't seem like you guys are. It doesn't seem like you guys want to play aggressive at all. When did he ignite? Like, did he ignite earlier? I guess that changes it a bit then, because if you don't have ignite, it might be a bit scary for you to walk up. But I mean, Kai'Sa doesn't have heal, so you're for sure stronger. Okay. I mean, there's two ways you can play the laning phase. You can either play hyper aggressive. I don't know if you've watched Ravens like Pornstar Zillion or I don't know about Tyler one. Haven't really watched them, but they play super aggressive. You can either start auto attacking champions from early levels, or you can perma push, but then you have to be ahead in farm, right? Like you could be ahead like 15 CS here, I think, if you play it properly. But you are actually behind against the ADC that outscales you. So it doesn't seem like you're focusing on either. It's okay to choose one style, but you have to perform at it, you know? Like you have to be either really good at CSing or super good at playing aggressive.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem like you're doing either here. Like you're just trying to farm, you're trying to harass, but you're not really doing either well, you know? Okay. It should be a Q for sure. Yep. Yeah, that's really good. But it was kind of on the blitz to make the play, right? So you don't really know. He's the proactive guy here, so next time if you get a support that doesn't do this, maybe that's why you don't win the lane, you know, like you could be proactive as well, like you could be opening on the champs too, and you can slow them as well first, so it makes it easier for Blitz to hit the hook. Let's see if it happened here. Oh no, I think he just hooked straight up. Then again, if you try to E and then you guys like somehow time it, you might like E the champ out of his hook, you know, so it's hard to say. Yeah, it's okay, like you followed quite well. But then, just because you use your access not too well here, you see you have to flash. If you kept walking forward with your access, you wouldn't have to flash here, right? So that's just a mechanical mistake. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it kind of is, because you can use your flash to kill him next time. Or you can flash after he flashes, but it doesn't seem like he flashed at all for some reason. I don't know why, but... Right? Okay. That was like such a bad TP. Oh man. You see here, you don't have flash now. You're probably gonna kill him still because Blitz played it well. But who knows, like maybe if he doesn't get hooked here, you could have flashed after him to finish him off if you didn't waste your flash earlier, right? Like all these things matter.
Yeah.
They don't matter this game, but they could matter in other games, right? Like, and that's how you climb. Damn, move chat. Yeah, whatever. This lane is pretty much over, like you're super far ahead. But you somehow lost this game, so it will be interesting to see what happened. Because your team is like stomping them super hard, and you're also super far ahead.
Yeah.
Now you base, probably get BF sword. Best friend sword. Attack speed boots, that's okay. Waited for a dagger. Wait, why? What are you building with pickaxe? Are you going like?
Stormrazor.
Is that the best build? I think people build
Like,
BT nowadays, but I'm not sure. Let me check. Actually,
I don't know. I'm always building Stormrazor.
I think the most common build is like BT into Fast Whisper now, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe it's. Okay, some people build BT, Arrow builds BT, but he also builds Stormrazor. So when does he build it? What? Okay, so he builds it first. Okay. I guess it's a really high snowball item.
Yeah.
That's good then. Okay, pushing. Something else is also, this game should be perfect for you to dominate on Draven, because they have a useless jungler. Nunu doesn't really put any pressure on you, you know? It's just Nunu is not really gonna threaten you like aggressive jungler, like, I don't know, Rengar, Pantheon, stuff like that, you know? Like, so you can afford to play super aggressive, which is a perfect game for you. And you're also already snowballing. It's a good hook by Blitz. How do you lose this game? Like you're 4 kills in, 8 minutes in, what? Oh man, this will be interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't know. So retarded actually.
I mean, this Blitz is playing quite well too, like he's gotten all the hooks in. You also get first tower like so fast. And Jax is stomping top. What? Oh man. Okay. Base. I'll probably just go top now, but it's solo queue and it's like gold, so you're probably not even thinking about that, and you also have to force your top to go bot.
Okay.
But it's okay. Let's see what you do. You're going top, right? Oh, you're ganking Mundo. That's good. So tanky.
Yeah.
What? How did you lose this game? Is this real life? I don't understand. Like it's just, oh, 10 minutes in. It's insane. Did you like win trade with someone? Like a friend on the enemy team or what?
I don't know how I lost it.
Okay.
I think we all just throw it.
Start pushing mid, which is okay. Like you have a lot of AD. You already have the wave in. 3 people are already here. Jax is pressuring top 2. So you're taking. Oh man, you got so many kills and you're also taking every tower, which doesn't generally happen in solo queue. So you're snowballing as hard as you can. I'd say after this tower, maybe you can just get herald and the game should be over. But you probably don't get herald.
Yeah.
Okay, so Udyr died somewhere. Yep. I'm just like super greedy what you're doing here. I would guess you probably all die here or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it. So this is where it starts, right? Like where you guys start throwing. You have to think about, especially with the new bounties, now you're going to get so much gold to the enemy team when you die at 6-0. And you're super low, so you chasing here doesn't really give you much. Like, you already got the kills, you already got the advantage. You should just base and try to like keep taking towers. You also have Jax pressuring top, so I think here the best thing to do was just ping your team to base, since you guys don't want to troll, and then just go herald. And when you get herald, you can just basically get on inhib super fast, because you're super far ahead. You can defend the herald, and you can take multiple towers or inhib. But now what's happening is you're giving them way too much gold. And the Anivia is not even behind, like she's pretty far ahead actually of the Diana, so she's a really good champ as well. And she's gonna scale super hard. And I think she also gets buffed by Nunu with the Blood Boil. He's gonna give him extra AP later on. Even though Nunu got nerfed a bit with the latest patch. Kai'Sa also scales quite well. And Mundo also scales super well. So, I think you have a Jax, but their comp is not bad for sure. I think the Anivia and the Kai'Sa are the biggest parts here. They both scale quite well. So how much gold do you give them? Like you see here?
800
gold. And Ulti gave them earlier 450, and now Diana gave them like 200 gold too. So it basically gave them like 2k gold for free. And even though you're super far ahead too, since you got towers and stuff, that's how games start to be thrown, you know, like these kind of mistakes. You die like one or two more times and then you threw the entire lead. Especially with how League is designed nowadays, since Riot over the years has always been changing the game towards like more team oriented, like being able to come back easier, stuff like that, right? Especially in terms of levels. I don't think you're even that far ahead in terms of levels at this point. Let's see.
Yeah.
I think levels are the most important thing actually, generally. Yeah, you're level 8 to level 7. Like, Anivia is level 9. She's probably higher level than Diana. And she also has 2 scaling items, and she's 4-1. So, look, see, she got a Catalyst, which is probably gonna go into Rot, and a tier that's also gonna scale super well. With Blood Boil and stuff like that. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Jax is the one throwing now, but he barely survives. You also wasted your flash earlier here, so...
Yeah.
Like, now Jax wastes his flash, so next time you guys get caught, you're probably gonna die because of that. You also kind of have a troll build, like Blitzcrank's build is kind of weird, like Boots of Swiftness. I guess it's okay against Anivia, Mundo, Nunu. Yeah, that's true. They have really a lot of slows, to be honest. This is a game where Boots of Swiftness is actually not too bad. Okay. Yeah, this is super greedy. Like, you walking up like this, it's super scary. I don't think you should ever do that just to get like a 1 auto off. You see how much you got poked?
Yeah.
And you're just playing with fire. Like, all this time you can just get caught and die again. And you are the most fed guy on your team, so... I'll for sure tell my team to look to do Herald here. Just push out midwave and ask your team to try to go for Herald. Where's Udyr? Over here, okay. And looks like bot lane is also in an awkward spot because it's gonna slow push towards the enemy team, you see? Like, they have more creeps here, so all this CS here is gonna die. And then the enemy team is gonna soak like 3 or 4 waves here, while all this farm here doesn't get farmed by anyone. So you need to either go bot or like Jax needs to be bot, stuff like that.
Okay.
Let's see. We're gonna see it later. You'll see how this wave progresses. You see, like it gets bigger. These creeps here will die. And that's also a way for them to come back in the game if you have like poor wave management. I guess I should write these things down because I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload this session. So write that down. I'll write it down for you. Wave management. What was the other thing we talked about earlier? On lane. Access on level 1. You can have 2 access. Or at least 1. Then play around level 2 timing or when you're ahead in level, play more aggro, right? 2 styles in Draven in every game. Focus heavily in farming or playing hyper aggro. But choose one and follow it. You seem, what was it, like you seem to be doing, you seem to not be doing any, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the throw was pretty big actually, the mid throw, lane throw. Just face and look to do herald if you're that far ahead. Greeting. Okay, yeah, I mean that's it I guess. I can't really think of anything else for now. Also, trading kills when you're that far ahead is also pretty bad. Like you see here, you trade 2 for 1, I think, right? You could probably die here. Or 2 for 2. Yeah, you trade 2 for 2, but it's better for them. Like every time your team is super far behind, like every time you trade evenly, it's really good for the enemy team, because they don't really have any choice, right? Like they are the ones behind, so like every traded kill is really good for them, because they're already in a pretty awkward spot.
Okay.
So I don't really want to trade at all, like you just want to try to take objectives without dying. Like here, it's actually 3 for 2, so again you're throwing super far, super badly. Okay. Wait, you're going Zeo. I think you should go BT, right? I think that's what I saw in the... Or did they rush rapid fire after? No. So it looks like Arrow went Stormrazor into BT. But maybe it's different. Like sometimes maybe they go for rapid fire after it. So this guy went for Stormrazor into BT again. Let's see this game. This game he went BT into rapid fire. But it doesn't seem like anyone's going... What was it? Stormrazor into rapid fire.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. You see, it's either BT into Stormrazor or Stormrazor into BT, but not like Stormrazor into rapid fire. Because I guess you need the lifesteal to sustain through like fights, and especially at this game, since Anivia deals a lot of damage to you. Might even like rush QSS, to be honest. But we'll see. The build is not the most important thing usually, like it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it is always good to have the most optimal build, but it's not the end of the world. Okay. You still haven't gotten Herald, like 14 minutes in. And Herald is super nice, to be honest, like it takes... You can take towers for free. Or did I write that? Yeah, I wrote that down, right? Yeah. Where are you? Are you pushing mid? That's good. You see here again, you get caught, like you're just walking in, greeting for the axe. It's okay to just lose the axe when you misplay with the axe, but now you're probably gonna die here. It's another kill they get. I mean, even if you, I guess, even if you don't die, it was still like super greedy and risky, right? Because you could have easily died there. Okay, that's good. You die. It's also something else you have to take into account with Pyke is every time he gets a kill with his ultimate, his mid laner or whoever he gets the kill from gets full kill gold for the kill. You see 300 gold by Pyke.
Yeah.
Your cut, so this is quite good as well. So you see, I can even just got 600 gold. You see? Look.
Yeah.
This is insane. And something else you have to take into account is you guys are ahead in gold, but part of this gold is like you taking all the towers. You see the enemy team hasn't taken any tower, like top standing, mid standing, body standing. But if they kill you, if you throw a few more times, they have like all these towers are static gold that they can pick up later on. So if you're close to even on gold, that means that if you keep throwing like this, then at some point you're just gonna lose the game, because if they kill you, they're gonna take like 2 or 3, 4 towers, and then that's a lot of like extra gold that's split between the teams. So this gold here is kind of deceiving. It looks like you're still ahead, and you are still ahead, but if you keep throwing, like, you're gonna basically lose the game, which is, I guess, what happens.
Yeah.
Because if you take out the towers right now that you took, like, one tower is like 1k gold, right? Or
Yeah.
was it like something like that? And you took top tower, mid tower, 2 mid towers, and 2 bot towers, and you're almost, you're not even in gold, but you're not that far off. Yeah. So when you take out the towers, you're basically even in gold if they kill you like 1 or 2 more times. It feels like all the fights in these games in low elo, they just don't have any purpose. Like, people are just fighting all the time without thinking why are they fighting. So that's why every game is so long, because people don't really know how to close out games, since you guys didn't take heralds and stuff like that. You took towers, but then you're kind of like lost at what you should be doing. But it's pretty, like, to me, it's super obvious what needs to happen. Like, Jax is super far ahead. No one on the enemy team can really stop him besides Anivia. And that means that if Anivia goes to stop Jax, that means she can't stop the 4-man. So if you group as 4 and you try to push like bot and then Jax pushes top, Anivia has to choose, like, am I gonna stop Jax from killing my entire base, or am I gonna stop the enemy team from 4v4ing my team that's like super far behind, you know? Like, she doesn't, the enemy team is kind of a crossroad, at least that's how you say it. They don't really have a choice, because no matter what choice they make, they're gonna lose. Because Anivia is strong, but she can't really deal with both of your sides. So if you get knowledgeable about these kind of things, you can ask people to do the correct thing. They might not always follow, right? Like, if you tell them, can we do herald now? Then obviously someone is gonna be like, I have to feed my cat here, I have to go take a piss, like, I have to push bot. Obviously they're not always gonna listen because it's solo queue, but you can at least try, right? And sometimes it's gonna work, for sure. If you try, like, you have 10 minutes to do the herald, maybe even more. And if you ask your team to do it like 2 or 3 times, maybe they'll do it, and then the game looks differently. Okay. Try to win super far ahead, because you guys were super far ahead. Okay. You also got kind of unlucky with the dragons, because both times you get like a cloud drake, which is not the best. I mean, it's not horrible, but because it's free, but it doesn't really give you a big lead, you know? It's not like an inferno or a mountain or a, what is it? Okay. You also need an executioner from Mundo at some point. I mean, you probably don't need it now because he's super far behind, but
Yeah.
maybe Jax could actually buy it. You should probably beat Jax. And if your team is fighting again over nothing, it's okay, like, you get kills, but you trade again. You see, you keep doing like these awkward trades that you don't have to do. Like, you can just push bot and then Jax can pressure top. So they're really, look at how far behind Mundo is. Like, he's 2 levels behind. Jax is 4-2-1. Mundo is 1-6. So Jax can definitely like destroy Mundo 1v1. But you guys keep fighting, which means that the enemy team doesn't have to like defend bot, so now they can just go top and help the Mundo with Jax, which Jax is probably gonna overextend and die to the roam. Is what I'm guessing. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna die to the roam, you see? If you're bot pressuring without dying, then this means Jax gets a free lane, because he can just win 1v1. But now since you die bot and you're just randomly fighting over nothing and you're not pressuring the tower, this gives time for the enemy team to rotate top and pressure him. And since he's not paying attention to the minimap because it's gold, you know, he keeps doing the same mistake. Like, he's fighting without vision, without knowing where the enemy team is, and without his team being able to help him, so he's just gonna die as well. So you keep trading super bad kills. I mean, even if he doesn't die here, but I'm guessing he probably dies. Yeah, he does. And Pike even messed up his ult. So they lose some extra gold from it. He could have gotten the full gold.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you? This guy just got a kill and then just randomly runs into you. This is again great for an axe, and it's super easy for Anivia to punish you for that because she sees where your axe is and she expects you to walk in there, so she just stuns you and you take way too much damage. Which makes it harder for you to siege. I mean, you probably can't siege against Anivia, but she's running out of mana, so. Okay. This game, it seemed like you played early game decently. Like it wasn't perfect, but it's okay. So the only thing that would have like made this game a lot faster is if you guys went herald and if you tried to stop your team from like inting. But you were a part of it, right? Like you were trying to fight as well. So you're probably gonna die here, right? Yeah. This is just a greedy recall, I guess. Wait. Don't greedy recall into enemy part of the jungle. It might be worried, etc. I think you also flashed here, or no, Mundo flashed for you. Never mind. So you were like 6-0 and now you're 8-4. So
Yeah.
and you're also not that far ahead in farm. You see, like Kaisa is like just 15 CS behind.
Mhm.
And they also get Herald, even though he was free for you guys for like 15 minutes just before Baron spawns. Oh, look at this timing. Pop jump. And Udyr dies and gets a shutdown. They're probably gonna get mid. Like, they're gonna get 2 towers here with the Herald. Right? My eyes bleed from this. Yeah, they're just gonna Herald mid if... Wait, what? I think Jax actually... yeah, Jax stole it. Never mind. I'm blind. So that's good then, but they're still gonna get 2 towers.
Yeah.
You see, this is a fight which is good. Like they're fighting around mid, so they kill you and then they take towers. But your fights in the jungle are like such a fiesta. Like you're not really pressuring any objective. You're just fighting over nothing here in the jungle. It's not even there wasn't even a buff that you were fighting over. It didn't help Jax pushed up. And look at how badly this wave is managed as well. Like so, look at your bot wave and top wave again. You see, like all these waves, they're all gonna crash. They're all gonna keep crashing here, and they're gonna pile up with an insane CS, and then the Mundo or the Kaisa are gonna or Anivia are gonna catch them, and that's how you guys are falling behind in CS slowly. Like you see, the Anivia is like 30 CS ahead of Diana, and that's why you're also not that far ahead of Kaisa, and that's why Mundo is gonna be close to Jackson CS right now. Did I write down the poor wave management? Make sure you push out side lanes. At least yours, like, because you can't control others. And sure, with ADC, mid game you don't really want to be bot, because then that means that the enemy team is gonna take Baron. But you could have, like, you didn't really do that early game too, and it's not like they can rush Baron at minute 20 with their comp. You know, they don't have that much damage. And even if they do, like, your team can just contest 4v5, because Baron is gonna do way too much damage to them. So for wave management is super important too. They go for Baron, do they get it? Oh yeah, they get Baron as well. I guess they could have just rushed Baron instead of going... Because they have Nunu. Yeah, they have the TP on Mundo. So they even get Baron, that's huge. Clearing out this wave is also pretty bad, because here Pi could just buy his items, and then these creeps are gonna keep denying creeps from you. So he doesn't really have to push it now. So what I'm guessing will happen now is Pyke is probably gonna try to clear the wave and then base. But this is the wrong sequence. He wants to base first and then clear it. There's no reason for him to stay here. So he probably has a lot of gold in him, and he's also kind of low on mana. So let's see what happens. This is kind of off topic, but I want to see what happens. It's interesting. I highly doubt he's gonna stay. You see now he bases, but what's the point of doing this? Yeah, you see, he bases and buys, but there was not really much point. Where are you? Here? You still have the pressure because you're still ahead in gold, even though you threw so many times because you're that far ahead. But you kind of want to avoid fighting the enemy team right now. Like, you shouldn't even be here. First, because Udyr is top right, because it's 4v5. And second, because the enemy team has Baron buff, which gives them extra AP, and what was it, like AP, attack damage? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and also the creeps get stronger, so if you fight into the wave, the creeps are gonna help them as well. But let's see what happens here. It's probably going to a random fight as usual in gold, right? Okay, not yet, that's good. But you see what happens now, like Udyr is split pushing top, which is correct. Like Jax should have been split pushing top from the start. Like, I don't know why he's not top, or why you are not top plus 4. Like this, the way you guys are split up is super weird, because your strongest person on the team is Jax, and he's your top laner, he also has TP, and instead of him being top, it's Udyr, your jungle, being top, which is super weird. His build is also really strange.
Yeah,
It's not really
I saw
tank.
that.
So the problem with Udyr's build here is, if he groups with you, you don't really have a tank, so it makes it really awkward for you to teamfight with a build like this, since you have two guys that want to split push. So you don't really have a front line. You have Blitz, but it's not really tanky at all. And again, look at how Udyr leads the wave. Like, again, it's cause it starts slow pushing towards them. He has to push one more wave, so the wave is not in a really awkward spot. So now Kai'Sa or whoever is gonna catch top wave if they're smart, and you're gonna lose all this. Okay. We're getting Mountain, but at this point Mountain, so this game was kind of unlucky because every dragon you got was kind of useless. 2 Cloud Drakes, which helps you rotate, but your rotations as a team were horrible, so you didn't really make use of the Cloud Drake, you know? And
Yeah.
it's the only thing that, I mean, Cloud Drake helps you with move speed in team fights as well, but it also gives you some damage since I think you were running Celerity on Draven, right? It gives you some extra AD from the Celerity rune. But
Yeah.
now you get Mountain, but it's kind of useless as well, because if you think about it, like every objective on the map has already almost been taken. Like Herald was taken, Dragon, you're doing Dragon right now, and also Baron was taken, and all the towers are taken. So it could help you take like a tower or an inhib, but you see, it's not that, like this Dragon here is not that important. You could already have like 3 Infernos if you're lucky, or yeah, stuff like that. Oh, this crit was like, this auto here was great. So then you proc the Stormrazor, but then your ulti is like really bad, because if you hit people with your ulti here, there's a lot of damage, and you're also nearly overspot.
Yeah.
Wait, you should watch this. It's important. Since you were kind of uncontested, and it wasn't really them that that killed you. It was mostly you yourself that killed yourself. You know. It's not like someone is pressuring you here. You also needed a last whisper, I think, sooner, because instead of one of these PF swords, you definitely want to have a last whisper, because look at Mundo's. Mundo has a lot of armor.
Yeah.
Like 2 cloth armor, stabby, sunfire. So he's gonna be the only guy that you can hit, and this auto here is good. Like, I would say this auto is great, but you can't really keep walking forward, you know?
Okay.
And if you hit your ulti here on multiple targets, like, you're basically gonna win the team fight for your team. Like, Yana is coming in, so she can just flank and killing off the low targets. This here is a mechanical mistake that's gonna cost you a lot. You just walk into them, you miss your ulti, and you also don't have Last Whisper for Mundo, which makes him tank a lot more. Like, he tanks your entire team, right? Because there's no one to deal with Mundo, because you are supposed to deal with Mundo, but you don't have Last Whisper. Okay, wait. Last Whisper. And then positioning, I guess. Don't walk into them in a team. Ulti too. Generally, ulti is not that important early game, but since you have a lot of AD here, like 80 AD from BF Sword, some Razor 75 AD, like your ulti does quite a lot to be honest, and you don't really hit anyone with it. I don't think you hit even one guy with it.
Yeah.
So this fight was definitely, you should have won this fight for sure. If you had correct build and you hit the ulti, and then Diana's definitely gonna kill them.
Okay.
It's like, and yeah, it looks like you still win it, but you should have been more one-sided for sure. Okay, Jax is using herald, that's good. What is he building? Stairs? Yeah. Yeah, you still don't have last whisper, so you see, even though you have super fed, you see how much your auto did to Mundo, like basically nothing. Let's go
Yeah.
back. So we definitely need last whisper.
Okay.
Since Mundo can just be on your ass 24/7. And you can't really ignore him. Like if he plays properly, you see, like look at your auto now. This is like a Stormrazor auto attack, right?
Mhm.
So it does like nothing.
Yeah.
And that's with the buff from Stormrazor, I think.
Yep.
So this guy can just like 1v9 your entire team now. Okay.
Okay.
You see how he's like running down your entire team because there's no one to deal with him.
Yeah.
You can probably even tower that here, right? Yeah, just tower that. This was actually played really well by Mundo. Like he tanked so much and he just barely escaped. Then the enemy team's kinda inting, but not really because they still get kills. Where's Jax? What? Oh man. You see again, you guys, like the way you're also not only did you mess up with like the waves earlier, but when the enemy team's waves crash, there's no one to soak them. Like look how much XP you were and see a gold you're losing, and now top as well. Like you're fighting when big waves are crashing on your towers, which means that they're gonna do a lot of damage to your towers, and you're also gonna lose all the gold and XP from the waves. So this is like a horrible time to fight. Look at like you see top is gonna crash and like all these creeps are gonna die instead of you catching them. So this game you messed up so many times in terms of like wave management as a team, not only like you see this
Okay.
wave. Like, look at how big this wave is. It's gonna crash. It's
Yeah.
gonna do damage to the tower. Bot lane already took some damage. Look at these waves. No one is there to catch them. But if you remember earlier, when this happened for the enemy team, they were always there to catch them, kind of. Look at how far behind Diana is. I guess you could say then Udyr is ahead, but yeah, it's a Udyr against Nunu in terms of farm. Like Nunu can't really farm. Okay, so I think most important things this game was like the last whisper, and was like the other thing, the herald, that you could have gotten for sure a lot sooner. And obviously like not throwing multiple times.
Yeah.
They get another kill with like extra gold. Another kill here. I think Pyke even fucked up the ult. And also something else you have to take into account is your support is building really bad items. Like if you think about what Pyke is doing, like Solari is great, Frozen Heart is not amazing, but it's okay. Like compared to Blitz going for like individual items that don't really help your team at all.
Yeah.
And Blitz is also, he's good, but in the situations where you guys fight, since you're always fighting team fights, like straight up 5v5 or 4v4 team fights, Blitz is not great because he can't really pick off people. Like he's good at picking off people around vision, but in team fights he's a lot weaker than Pyke in terms of what his champ offers. You know? You think about what Pyke does, like he has more base damage, he has like a hook, he has a stun, he can tank more because when he goes into his W, he heals for a lot. Like passive procs was it the healing? There was some healing somewhere, but I don't remember where it was.
It's his passive.
Yeah. Yeah, he regenerates damage, yeah. So he can tank a lot more, and his items are also better. Like, if you think about like what this item does here, sure, it gives him a mana shield, but it's just like a small shield that lasts only like 2 seconds. While Pike is pretty tanky in terms of, like, he has a lot of HP from I, and a lot of armor and MR from Solaris, and also Chain Vest. And he's also ahead in levels, because you guys like keep drawing, so look at their levels now. 14, 14, 13, 12. Levels are super underrated in LoL. People don't really realize how important they are, but every level gives you extra stats, so they're super important. That's why it's super hard to come back sometimes. And look at how Mundo is
Okay.
running you down. I think he could have killed you here for sure. Actually, he doesn't have
Yeah.
ulti, right? Oh no, he does. Why is he not proccing this thing? I guess he's scared he doesn't know where the enemy team is. Like here, he should definitely be scared. He could kill you for sure if he was playing properly. There's no way you kill him.
Yeah.
I think right now he's gonna run you down and you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
He even misses his cleaver. He ultied way too late. Like he could have just ultied earlier and then could have tower dove you himself without Pike. But obviously Pike helps. Like he shielded him. Okay. I wonder when you build Last Whisper. I guess it's gonna be super late because you also have a BF sword. So that means you're probably gonna finish BT before Last Whisper. And you should have had Last Whisper like third item probably, realistically, instead of IH.
Okay.
Okay. Also Last Whisper is pretty cheap, like you can just, I think it's like 1.3k, right? It's like a BF sword.
Yeah.
Okay, just die. At this point you start to get weaker and weaker because Mundo can just slow your attack speed. You can't really kill the front line. You just die to an even one-shotting you. So Draven gets outscaled by a lot of champions. Like he's really good early in mid game, but then he's not great later on. So you have to take this into account as well when you're playing a champion like this. You can't afford to make mistakes. You're playing a champ that's really strong early game, but he gets punished. If you make a few mistakes, then you get outscaled. So you have to play around your strengths as a champion. So, like, partly the reason why you're winning early game, sure, you're playing well, but it's also because of your champion, if you think about it, right? Because it's just stronger than Kai'Sa in early game. So you have, like, when you
Yeah.
have an advantage through that, you have to make sure that you don't throw the advantage, because then you're just losing the game, because your champion is just not that strong later on. That's how the game works, right?
Yeah.
And now, and now, three dragons later, when the enemy team is ahead, they get the Infernal, which is kind of unlucky, but I mean, okay. I guess at this point you already threw the game. I think there's no way for you to come back at this point. I guess. I mean, you have a win condition in terms of, have a win condition in Jax, but I'm not sure how hard he can split push because his build is not great for split pushing. He has Tiamat Trinity Force, but he doesn't really have Executioner. I'm not even sure if he can 1v1 Mundo at this point, to be honest. I'm not like super knowledgeable about top lane, but I don't think with this build he can trade up 1v1 and like take towers, ignore Mundo and stuff like that, so it doesn't seem like we even have a win condition at this point. Maybe Udyr can 1v1 him with the Bork, but yeah. But he can't really push towers that fast, because he doesn't have a Sheen. Like, see, yeah, he's barely doing damage to Pike, and Pike is like a lot weaker than Mundo, so I don't know. It doesn't seem like this game is. Oh wait, you got Infernal, but yeah, it's not like a game-winning thing, you know. Yeah, Jax is not that strong.
Yeah.
Oh, where are you? Okay, you move. I mean, Inferno is okay because it does give you a lot of AD. Like it's pretty far into the game and you have a lot of extra AD from Infinity, Stormrazor, and BT. But even then, it looks like you kind of threw the game already.
Yeah.
You see, like Mundo is like just tanking your entire team, tanking the tower because no one can deal with him. You only do have ignite, but it's only like how much? Like only 5 seconds, and no one really has the executioner on your team. Yep. So he can just face roll you. Can't even kill Pike because he has a lot of armor too. Since he has the Dead Man's and Solari and Frozen Heart. I mean, you probably can't even kill Kaisa because she also has Zonia's. So
Yeah.
definitely need Last Super. I'll say Last Super is like the most game-changing thing here. At this point, it doesn't matter, but it would have mattered in mid game for sure, where you could have still like won team fights. Yeah, you buy it, but it's over, right? Like you buy it just as the game is over. I think you just bought it, right? Wait. That's super funny. Yeah, you just buy it after you die, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess they don't end here. You somehow miraculously defend, but yeah. But I guess there's not much point in watching from this point on. I don't think you can come back at this point. Guess we could skip to the fight and see what happens with Last Whisper. But I guess they're fighting top and you're not there.
Yeah.
Why are the guys split? I guess I didn't see. I guess you respawned and you run bot and your team just started fighting top. I don't know. Now your team is pinging you. I want to see if you could have went top. Okay. I guess you want to defend bot because it's pushing, but you have to leave Jax here. You can't be the one defending bot for sure because you don't have TP. You need to ask for Jax to go bot.
Okay.
What is this Kai'Sa build with this stance?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't really be defending here. It needs to be Jax because he has TP.
Okay.
And he also has Tiamat, so he can wave clear a bit better. Like, what is he also building? Catalyst? What? Yeah, maybe you had one more chance to come back in the team fight, but you guys were split kind of awkwardly. Like, you should be Jack's bot and not you. And then even if he doesn't go bot, you still have to group at this point because you see your team is like walking in top side. They could fight somewhere here in the jungle, so you need to group for sure. Because at this point, like people die in 2 seconds, so you have to be there before the fight starts. You can't just be coming in late. And you didn't even try to come in late. Maybe at this point you are already tilted. You're like, ah, this game is done. Blah blah. But you should definitely not be bot.
Okay.
I think they can kill him, right? Nope. They don't have.
Nope.
They don't have executioner. And the thing is, you don't even have anyone that can. I guess Diana could have built Morello for sure, but his build is like so weird. Like Diana's build is horrible too, because Bright Ice is really bad on Diana. You don't really have like high base damage where you can afford to slow people down, and you also have a slow on your kit anyway. Like your E kind of is like a slow. Yeah, slows them 45 seconds for 45% for 2 seconds. So this is like useless. Ugh. So Diana could have had like a Lich Bane here, a Morello maybe, that could like apply Grievous Wounds to Mundo. So she's super weak as well. Like look at this, like it's almost 35 minutes into the game and she's barely doing any damage. So you don't have a mid laner, your support had like horrible items early game. And yeah, your team just fights without you and then you lose the game. But you should have definitely grouped here. What was it? Don't clear side lanes. You have a splitpusher. Ask him to waveclear. TP. What else? I think that's it, right? I don't think there's much else to talk about. Maybe you could have even got the LDR Last Whisper, the one with their extra HP thingy.
Okay. But there's no execution.
Yeah, but then you don't have slots. Yeah, you don't have a slot for it. Yeah, it sucks. Like you want the extra the other Last Whisper for the extra HP, but there's no one that has Executioner, so you went Abyssal Mask. Oh man, these blues are so bad. Okay.
I don't know. I can't control them.
Yeah. But overall, your early game was decent. It's just that after that, you need to make sure you close out the game with a champ like Draven against Kai'Sa.
Okay.
Can't really throw that much. The last whisper was really important. What else? Yeah, I'll just send you the notes and you can look over them. Think about what you could have done. Also the build, right? Like the Stormrazor into BT or BT into Stormrazor, not like Stormrazor into Rapid Fire. I think that's the most common build. Okay. Into BT or BT into Stormrazor. Okay. I guess I already wrote that down earlier. I mean later on here for wave management.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we're done. I hope it was
Okay.
fun. I'm gonna send you the notes. But yeah, I mean you can keep playing Draven. I wouldn't recommend playing him, but it looks like it works for you. You just need to fix a few small things and it should be fine. Like the throws, the build, like Last Whisper is super important. BT into Stormrazor, or Stormrazor into BT, and that's it, I think. And then just mechanical stuff is just on you. Like I can't really control your champ, right? Like when you use your ultimate, like how you position, stuff like that. Yeah. And I guess that's it.
Okay.
So yeah, man. And I hope you had fun with the session.
Yeah. Okay. See ya.